Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Gold has been performing very well as of late and is starting to see some numbers that we have not seen in a while. Silver too, but we're going to kind of focus a bit on gold as it's sort of the ultimate safe haven here. And typically, many times, silver will follow gold, but it seems like in many cases the ratio has widened. But I think we may see, at least it may stay the same and move up with gold if this rise continues. But we'll kind of take a look and pick apart and find out some of the reasons, maybe beyond just this headline, as to why gold is going up in price. Let's explore. So this comes to us from CNBC. Gold gains luster as the Fed rate cut bets and trade tensions boost demand. So it says here that gold prices rose on Thursday, continuing last week's strong run as persistent fears about the impact of trade wars on the economy and rising expectations for a U.S. interest rate cut embellished the metal's appeal. Spot gold rose 0.5% to $1,336.64 per ounce. U.S. gold futures settled $9.10 higher at $1,342 and 70. Expect probably gold to rise even more because as the result of the recording of this video, the White House has confirmed that it will definitely implement those tariffs on Mexico. Ongoing concerns regarding global economic growth is supporting gold at the moment, say David Meager, director of metals trading at High Ridge Futures, adding that the United States trade tussles with Mexico and China are taking a toll. Recent commentary by U.S. Federal Reserve officials that they are at least willing to look at rate cuts if the data warrants it is also helping commodities across the whole board, which means that silver will be included in that as well. Having suspected a 3-year monetary tightening campaign earlier this year, the Fed is now widely expected to cut rates. And I heard in a prior video reading that there may be as many as 3 rate cuts. Chairman Jerome Powell said earlier in the week that central bank will closely monitor the economic impact of trade conflicts, a deviation from his former patient stance. U.S. President Donald Trump, who has persistently advocated rate cuts, on Thursday issued fresh threats to hit China with tariffs on at least another $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. He also said that he thought both China and Mexico wanted to make deals, however. Since Trump's tariff threats on Mexico last week, gold has risen more than $63. And it's only $11 away from its 2019 high set in February. We'll explore those charts in a moment. Gold has run a long way in its rally in a short span of time, so would not be surprised to see it consolidate, Saxo Bank commodity strategist Ole Hansen said. The market is now waiting for data on U.S. non-farm payrolls and unemployment due at 12:30 GMT on Friday to find clues on the trajectory of interest rates. So we'll see how those numbers turn out. Wednesday's ADP National Unemployment Report for May showed only 27,000 jobs added in the month. That's anemic a number, has many looking for a weaker number on Friday's jobs report, Jim Wyckoff, who was a senior analyst at Kitco, said in a note. Another precious metal, silver, rose 0.9% to $14.93 per ounce, close to more than a 1-month high of $15.04 set in the previous session. So we may be hitting up and staying at that $15 level. We'll see how that plays out with silver. Palladium rose 1.4% to $1,347.65 an ounce, while platinum was steady at $799.72, away from a near 3-week high of $832.63 on Wednesday. Gold is the driver. I believe that gold is the driver for all the precious metals, silver and gold at least. There has been times where the other metals have reacted differently, but we can see by this chart here, by the live prices here, that gold is up $5.40 to $1,336.20. So it's doing what it's supposed to do in times of economic fear and uncertainty, which, by the way, is independent in many cases of inflation. Gold's going up. Silver's going up a little bit. It's getting close to that $15 level. And if you look at a 100-year chart, we're getting very close to now being close to where inflation is. And it'll be interesting to see. And that's really the best we can hope for, well, for any of the precious metals, for silver or gold. But platinum is at down $1 to $806. Palladium is at $1,357, up $17. It's now above gold now, but it was earlier in the day. I was alerted by Silver Honda with a chart that showed them right around the same price. They hit parity earlier in the day. Just goes to show you how quickly these things move. And look at rhodium is up $30. It's now skirting closer and closer to that $3,000 mark again. Very interesting indeed. So we'll see how this all plays out here. But nonetheless, let's take a look here at the charts. This is the past 24 hours for gold, and you can see on June 4th, it closed at $13.25, and we're, skirting at $10 above that now. So it's very interesting to see how this is all playing out with gold there. But let's pause here for a moment and take a look at the charts for gold over the last 2 years here, or 2018. We can see 2018 started out strong above $1,300. But you guys remember, we got a really good deal on some pieces last year with gold going below $1,250 and below $1,200 at some point. Boy, those were the days, weren't they, when gold was that low? And some people were predicting that, and that's what happens whenever you see that steady decline for months of gold going all the way down here through the summer and into the fall, leveling out right around the $1,200 mark. People were predicting gold at $1,000, even below $1,000. I thought, yeah, there's no way it's not going to get down that low. Gold, remember, it's the ultimate safe haven. And then, as we saw the fall roll around, we saw it creep back up and into the new year here. It's been more volatile so far this year. It's been interesting to see, at least from the 1280s all the way up to, as the article said here, close to in the mid 1340s here, and we've not seen, there's some volatility here coming in this, but I think it's a little bit more volatile this year. I think a lot of that has to do with the uncertainties with trade, and now with the Federal Reserve flirting with rate cuts. I believe they will come, and I believe gold will shoot up a bit more. It may not take off like crazy, but I think we might possibly see, it move into the upper 1300s possibly if they do that rate cut. Let's see how this all plays out. It is interesting to see kind of where things have been with gold, and the focus on gold is because the other precious metals tend to follow. For the most part, there are obviously exceptions, and in many cases, especially seeing how the gold and silver ratio has become. But generally, even if gold goes up dramatically and gold goes up, or silver goes up a little bit, it still does rise with gold. And I think a lot of that is because of, even in many cases, the commodity aspect of gold. Gold is still used as a commodity, just like platinum, palladium, and silver, just not as much. Gold is so unique in that it is treasured, even more so, even to this day. Look at central banks holding gold and accumulating vast amounts of it, in record numbers, it seems. And so that's one of those things where, hey, that's got to tell us something. There's a testimony there with gold. With silver, I believe that in time the ratio will tighten up a bit, just like we saw in other times when it's gone up in price. Now, as to the levels that we saw in 1980 and 2011, well, those are exceptions, those are anomalies, and really they can be evened out or even scratched from the record. And even still, when the prices do go up, under normal circumstances, the ratio tends to tighten up somewhat, although we are in a new norm. And I don't think that ratio will ever get to the point where we had seen historically in the past. Because of the new nature and the new mining techniques and the amount of silver out there. But nonetheless, it is interesting and fascinating to look at here. And so post your thoughts below about the rise in gold prices and as to some of the other reasons why, in your mind, maybe. As far as geopolitical tensions, we're not seeing quite as much of that these days, or at least talk about it. But I think they're still there. They haven't gone away. They just have not been in the forefront. They're not really... everybody's in a kind of a holding pattern there, but I think the fears are still there, and that could be some of the drivers as well. But post your thoughts. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.